Some stories don't fade, they haunt. They burn quietly under the skin for decades. Not for how they ended, but for everything they could have been. This is one of those stories. Elena Vale was born into a house of antique mirrors and muffled voices. The Vale estate stood at the edge of a forgotten village. Stone, ivy wrapped, and too big for warmth. The kind of place where things were kept polished, not personal, where affection was measured and silence was currency. Her father, Professor Henry Vale, lectured on honor at Cambridge. Her mother hosted tea parties like rituals, and Elena, their eldest, lived in the space between the wallpaper, watching, waiting, writing. She wrote stories no one read, hid them beneath the floorboards. In those pages, she wasn't just a daughter. She was someone. The only person who ever saw her outside of those pages was Jonas Hale, the gardener's son. Born in the estate's servant cottage, raised by a widowed mother who smelled of rosemary and hard luck. He worked the land with hands that were always bruised, but eyes that were impossibly gentle. He spoke rarely, read often, moved like someone who understood grief too well to waste words. They met as children, but by 17, they were gravity. They shared a world of things they couldn't say aloud. Passages passed in books, poems written in dirt with fingertips, glances that made time pause. He would wait for her near the orchard wall. She would bring him old novels with her annotations in the margins. They never dared to dream aloud, but in the spaces between them, hope lived. They kissed once, behind the greenhouse, the glass fogged from the inside, rain on the roof. A moment so perfect it almost felt borrowed. They didn't say I love you. They didn't need to. But the world they lived in was not made for love like theirs. That summer, war arrived in whispers, and with it, Vivian Northwood, Elena's cousin from London. Vivian arrived with lipstick like a wound, stories too scandalous for the city, in a way of taking up space that made everyone else smaller. She disrupted a Vale house like a fire through a field. Every man turned to watch her,